There we go. Hello, everybody. I thought we went live. I didn't realize I didn't hit the go live button. Thank you for joining me this morning. Good morning. Good Saturday to you. I think it might be Sunday to some of you, right? Depending on where you're at in the world, maybe not. And hello. This is a little informal stream. Nothing special to discuss. I thought I would just come on here at the hell time is at 3:30 in the morning and see if we can't do a cricket stream. Maybe I should call these the cricket streams, huh? That might not be a bad name for these twilight streams. Cricket streams. Cricket Watch Chronicles. Is my volume up too loud? That's too loud. I think if I turn the gain down like that, maybe there'll be less crickets. All right. So how's everybody going? Let me get to the comment screen. Yeah, geezer. I don't know. I think I've come full circle. I don't know if I feel like I need as many watches, but it's very difficult to get rid of anything. Someone's interested in my 1016, and I gotta say, man, I'm not sure if I want to sell it to him. Someone from someone here from the chat's interested in my 1016, and we've already exchanged numbers. They're local. They said they were going to toss me a couple of dates so we can meet up for a beer, and he wants to look at the watch. And he hasn't texted me those dates. And call it funny, but I'm kind of glad. I don't really want to get rid of the 1016. I went online for the last couple of days, and I have before, even when I bought it, and I've looked at them online. I've looked at them online. You can find a couple close in the price range. They just look horrible. You can hardly find one that has matched hands. Something's replaced. Something looks bad. Mine, at least, everything matches because everything was replaced all at once. Everything's even patina all throughout. And although it's a service dial and the Rolex frogfoot's a little different, it is a tritium Swiss T dial, and it has aged unbelievably gorgeously, and it's period correct for the service dial from back then. So I just look at it and I go, wow, well, for one, I probably shouldn't be selling it for what I paid for it, but I'm not interested in making a buck on it, to be honest. But I'm more concerned with the fact of whether I should be getting rid of it or not. And I mean, if I wanted one right now, if I wanted to replace one I wouldn't be able to do it. You'd have to spend $15,000, and it's not going to have the same patina, which is all I was after. You know what I mean? It was all I was after. If you put a minty 1016 in front of me from the same year, because I've seen a couple and they hardly have any patina on them, the watch just is completely unattractive to me. I know that might sound silly, but a 1016 without any patina does less than absolutely nothing for me. It was the patina that sold me the watch. Yeah, that'd be a little hard, Geezer, after I've told everybody what I've got it for and what I want to sell it for everywhere already. But I mean, if I held it for a couple of more years, maybe I could do that. But it isn't the money thing. Well, in a way, it's the money thing, but I'm not looking to profiteer or take advantage of people. I mean, I know what you're saying, though. Make it for a price I can't refuse, then I'll be happy. That's exactly the smiley face. So it makes sense what you're saying. At least I should have said 12 grand, right? Make $1,500 on it. So at least I feel a little cozy getting out of it. But that wasn't the point. The reason why I'm looking to get rid of some watches, including my original sub date, is because I've really dedicated a lot of money to AP coming up, FP Journe coming up, even one Rolex, whatever it might be. I've been in weekly contact with my Rolex AD. Oh man, there goes my back. I've been in weekly contact with my Rolex AD. Let's sit on my guitar amp. Let's sit on the guitar amplifier that I pulled out of the closet. That might be more comfortable than sitting in a chair, right? You reckon? Guitar amp, man. That's the perfect height. Perfect. Nice and firm, too. So what is it? I'm putting a lot of money into, let's change the avatar, as a matter of fact, to get in the spirit of things. Is this avatar good? That's a little blurry. Kind of make you cross-eyed. Let's put this one on. There we go. So what do I have? I've got about $36,000, $36,000 to $40,000 inclined towards this purchase here of the watch that's on that screen. And then I have, and then I'm inclined to spend about $22,000 on Royal Oak. That'll be coming shortly, I presume. And then I'm inclined to spend probably another, $10,000 at Rolex. So I'm expecting the next 12 months to allocate 22 and 12. That's 34 and 34. 68, so 70 grand. I'm intending to allocate $70,000 to watches here in the next 6 months, basically. So if I sell the 1016, then I got my original 16,000 back from the Daytona that I sold not too long ago. And then if I sell a few other watches, I can come up with half that money. And another thing too is I decided to pull the trigger on stem cell therapy. So that's going to cost me $8,000 for the 2 injections. $8,000. So I'm basically selling my 1016 for a couple of hip injections. That's what we're going to do. We're going to lighten the burden of the incoming watch purchases, and we're going to either fly to Texas or go to Beverly Hills and get shot in the hip. Let's pull up Watch Recon and take a look at the 1016s I'm talking about. What you say? What say you? So I can show you what we mean since I was talking about the 1016s. Let's talk. Let's talk, baby. Let's talk. Okay. So here's what we're talking about, okay? So let's say you're shopping for my 1016, and the guy's probably watching the program. So, gentlemen, if you're watching the program, you know, hit me up for a beer, regardless if you're going to buy the watch or not. We were supposed to go out for a beer anyway, Jason. So, but if you're watching, let me do the homework for you. Let me do a little bit of the homework for you on my own watch that I'm selling you. Because, like I said, I'm selling it for exactly what I got it for. So, so there's no shame in sharing what I think's a good deal anyway. Of a watch that I kind of don't want to sell, but I'm not made of money anymore. So hey, let's just be realistic here. So let's just go straight to the one that matched the price closestly, which was these two. The first one here, I just can't stand this watch. It's at Bob's Watches, world famous Bob's Watches, 10,500. So this is basically, you know, $150 more than what I'm asking for my watch. And here's the problem with it. If you can't already tell, it looks like someone got their fingers all over the damn dial or something, but I see the tritium smudged all over the frickin' dial. It looks like fingerprints or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it does look like fingerprints, especially if you look at the 10 o'clock. So this to me is a total fail. To me, it's a total fail. I can't handle that. And this is probably the best one out here for the price. Okay, so I don't like this one just because of that. If that fingerprint stuff wasn't there, I mean, forget the bracelet. Who cares? Mine doesn't come with a bracelet. This one pretty much doesn't come with a bracelet either, okay? In my opinion, wouldn't you guys think this bracelet is worth $0, right? Look how it matches the case. How this is beyond loosey-goosey. This is, you know, this is a 80-year-old loosey-goosey. That's never lived under a roof. Okay. So so this will be coming off the bracelet. So this is watch head only, fingerprinted. Okay, so there you go. So I would pass on this, regardless of it being original. I just, to me, I know some of you may not agree. Some of you may not agree. Now, so that's one out there. Now, look, for me, I'm wearing it for the look. The purpose of my 1016 was I wanted a striking, beautiful dial. Let's see if I have a picture of mine to pull it up real quick. And as long as it's all Rolex, I didn't care if service dial. As long as it's Rolex, everything's Rolex. That's all that really matters to me. What mattered mostly was that the watch was on point with the patina and how it looked. And yeah, the watch just looks stunning. Okay, so here's a picture of my watch. Let's pull this up so we can compare it with this first one in reference here. And I'll show you what the difference is in the service dial. So Rolex made slight variation in the service dial so that you know it's a service dial when it's a service dial, right? That way they know whether it's original or not. So the service dial, from what I understand, was different than the original dial, and that is why it's different. But it is period correct. So let's go back to this one here so you can see what I mean about the foot. Look at the crown. If you look at the crown, pay attention to the height of the points. So just the first three, it goes low, medium, high. Okay? Low, medium, high. And then you'll pay attention to my crown. Let's go here. Share screen. Okay. Okay. So now look at my crown. If you can see my crown, it's actually the same. It's the same thing, isn't it? You know what? I know there was a little bit of a difference. At least I'm pretty sure there was. Hell, maybe there isn't. Maybe that other one has a surface dial. Shit, I don't know. Okay. Well, regardless, look at the dial. So the hands were replaced. The hands were replaced with it. Everything was replaced at the same time. Everything's period correct. Everything's freaking gorgeously patinaed on this watch. And it's so clean. It's so clean. Okay. Wait a minute. That's not my watch. Hold on. Suckers, hold on. That's not my watch. No wonder why the crown is different. Hold on. That's a watch I pulled up when looking at before. There's my watch. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. There you go. Sorry about that. So I knew that the crown looks a little different. Let's go back and let's see if we can go back and look at the crown. Hold on. Maybe it really wasn't that different, was it? Okay. The point on the middle. Yeah, you'd have to put them side by side. I think it's a little hard for me to do. Anyway, there's supposed to be a little bit of a difference, and I'm trying to point it out, but apparently it's not as subtle as, it's more subtle than I thought, the differences. Okay, so let's not worry about that. What we're more concentrated is in the quality of the dial and all that. So it's still, this is mine up here on the screen right now. Swiss T, like I said, all that stuff. I don't have to repeat it, but the dial's clean, you know. So the case is in great condition, other than there's, you know, at the lugs, there's those markings at the lugs from a watch holder from some moron that at one time worked on the watch. But that's not enough for me to care about selling the watch. You know, it isn't that didn't keep me from buying the watch. When you wear it, you don't even see it. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even really notice them if I didn't tell you as a seller. The only one you would notice probably is the one on the bottom right. And yeah, I tell you, as wearing the watch, it's never been an issue for me so far in the few months I've been wearing it. Okay, so let's go back to what they have now that you've seen how clean this dial is of mine. So you got this in your mind, right? You got this in your mind, what it looks like. There it is. See that? It's pretty clean, right? Okay. There's my watch. A nice watch to wear. So you can see why I bought it and why I wanted one of these, but I don't want one. I don't want one without patina. To me, it's not attractive without the patina. There it is. I mean, the more I look at this, the more I don't want to sell it. You feel me? I don't want to sell the damn thing. There's the case back. I might as well go through these photos in case he's watching, or maybe I can direct him to this video. But there we go. This is in 1080p, by the way, so make sure your YouTube setting is at 1080. And that's the inside of the watch. Okay, so now let's go back to my watch. That was one I was comparing it to before. Okay. So now let's go back to Watch Recon with an understanding of what. Now, so you see how I don't like this one here that we have on the screen now. See? So the one next to it, oh, this one was available. This one sold. So this one sold right away. I thought this one was a fair contender right here for the price. That one was nice. This was a decent one, you know. Hey, maybe he ended up buying this one, and that's why he didn't call me back. This one looked pretty decent. Again, the bracelet, I don't care too much about, but it'd be nice to have it, sure. This one looked pretty good. But this one's sold now. The only one that came up 2 days ago, I saw it last night, and it's already sold. And I would have to say this was a good one. This was a pretty good one. You know? Right? This one's a good one. So now that this one is gone, mine's the next good one. Is what I figure. But this one was only up here for a day, literally, before it got sold. Okay, because other than that, you've got, other than that, you got one for 19,000. That's out of the neighborhood of what we're talking about here. You got one out of the country, so let's not worry about that one. That's the Bob's Watches one. We've already looked at it. That's the Bob's Watches one, listed twice. That's the one we just looked at. That's sold. That's a $20,000 one. Another $20,000 out of the country. Here's one that, nope. Here's one for 20,000. Okay, so there you go. So you see, the market for these is scarce. Honestly, this one right here was a really good freaking deal, to be honest. This one right here was a pretty good deal. I think this one was a bargain, to be honest. This one was a bargain. And look, I got to be honest with you. It looks like it has that same service style as mine, and that's why it's that clean. So, what's your opinion on that? Tell me that right now. It almost looks too perfect, like my watch. You know? But I could be wrong. I think the crown might be a little different. Let me see. See if we could take a good idea here of the crown. The crown looks pretty tall. Let's see the lettering. Maybe the X can give us a clue. Take a good look at the style. I think it's the crown is what we want to pay particular attention to, and maybe the font. So let's take a look now at my picture. I don't know if there's a way I could pull them up side by side. Maybe there is. Hold on. Oh, I can do it, but I can't share that with you. So I'm looking. Okay, yeah. My crown is like a semi-frog foot. This one is a tall, slender crown, and I'm looking at mine, and it's a semi-frog foot, and the font is slightly different. The O on mine is significantly larger than the one on the screen. So that's what I was told when I bought the watch, is that you can tell it's a service style, a Rolex service style, from the semi-frog foot and the font difference. So that's what I was looking for. But yeah, that one on the screen was a good deal, but those don't come up all too often. Like I said, maybe he bought that one. Maybe he got that one. Are there any others? Yeah, I mean, that's it. So, I mean, if I put mine out there, it'll get nabbed up in 2 days, just like that one did. It would be gone pretty quick. You're right, Geezer. I could throw it up online on here for $13,000 and see if someone bites. So I might just do that, geezer. I might just do that. You know, Chrono 24, I don't like Chrono 24. I'm not going to really reference them anymore. They're bad business. They want to take advantage of the watch market and not be fair. And look, man, they're charging 7% on both ends to the buyer and the seller. I don't know how much you could really judge the price on there. What would be the real price on that 1016 on Chrono 24? I would figure you got to discount it 15%. Whatever you see on Chrono 24, you should be able to get, you know, for 14% elsewhere. If you're selling and buying on Chrono 24, somebody's paying that 14%. Someone's getting squeezed for it. So at least understand there's a 20% price variation that isn't very accurate. And you know what else too? They let people post watches that don't exist. They let people post watches that don't exist. You guys remember when I was trying to buy that King Midas? You know, the watch didn't exist. I've tried to buy a Glashütte there before I knew you guys. The watch didn't exist. They actually had to refund me the money. They tried to get me to buy something else. I've called on, I know you guys have too. I've called on numerous watches. Oh, when I was looking for my 1-year GMT model watch, the 1-year production, that thing was listed everywhere on Chrono 24. And nobody had the watch. Nobody had it. So let's take a look though. Okay, we'll take a look. $17,500. $12,470. The hands don't match on that one. This one has really nice patina, but you're paying $7,000 more for it and the bracelet. Wow, look at that full set. Wow. That's just more than double what it should be. Okay. Here's one like mine. And it has the different crown. This has a service dial for sure. Oh, that's got the same service dial as mine with the big O. Okay. So here you can see the difference in the service dial. Different Rolex crown, big O. You see over here, the O is going to be small. Watch. Oh, that's a service dial too. Look it. That's a service dial. That's a service dial. Okay. Yeah, that's a service dial too. Wait a minute. Hold on. There's the big O and the slender O. Hold on. Man, you know what? It's hard to damn tell when they're not compared side by side. Look at the crown on this one. Wow, the crown on this one is so different than all the others. It doesn't almost look like a crown. It looks like a jester's hat, doesn't it? That's beautiful. Where the minute hand is just about gone on this watch. Gilt dial, gilt hands. But okay, but going back to reality here, 19,000. Okay, so this is the same year watch as mine. Okay, so there you go. I mean, 10,000 is not a bad price for my watch. And for me, I just like the way it looks even better than this one. I mean, mine has better looking patina than this. You know what? Actually, pretty same. But that's what I was looking for. This would be a watch I'd buy right here, for example. If I didn't have the one that I have right now, I'd buy this one. But it's $12,200 more, $12,500 more. I mean, $2,500 more. And so for me, I was never looking at spending that much for a 1016. That's why, God, 10,000 was just a sweet spot. So I think maybe you guys can see why I bought it, why it was an easy buy for me. I didn't want to spend, 13,000 plus on one of these things. And I didn't want one with no patina like this one here on the left. No patina. Don't want that. See, once they start getting any patina like this, the price just shoots up. Bam. That's it. The price shoots up. That's a nice looking one with the brown. That's beautiful, that patina. I don't know where some of these people get this, where they can get 40,000 for one of these. It's not even gilt chapter ring. You see how expensive these can get? So, despite it being a service dial, which again, it's an original service dial, the price was pretty fair, man, for wanting one of these on the wrist in good looking shape. You see? I gotta say though, that one we found on Watch Recon that sold in a day, that was a freaking deal. Somebody was desperate to get rid of that watch. That was a deal. Here we go. This one describes the frog foot dial, just like mine, right? You see? Mine is a semi-frog foot, though. Semi-frog foot, so. That's beautiful. And they're all good looking. All the good looking ones are 15,000 plus. That's what I'm saying. Wow, that's gorgeous. See, that's what mine looks like right here. Pretty much exactly like this one. So, and the case edges, mine looks. The case looks pretty decent, other than the watch holder markings. I think all that's factored into the price already. I mean, you see how expensive these are? There's no give on these, man. That one that was on Watch Recon was a freaking bargain. That was the bargain of the month, dude. Whoever got that watch. And because the difference between it and mine is that it had an original dial and mine has a service dial, and it was the same price. I mean, fuck. How can I dispute that? I mean, the guy should have been selling that watch for $14,000 all day long. So all I can say is I hope the guy who was going to buy my watch got that watch. More power to him. I hope he got it, because that would have been a good deal. But if he didn't, God, it's, you can tell I'm so reluctant. I don't want to sell my watch, but if he didn't, he probably should buy mine, because I think it's a good price. Wow, that's one here is the most beautiful one I've seen so far. This one in France. Yeah, the same one right there, huh? I think it's the same watch. Beautiful. Yeah, they're up there. They're up there. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this one. Wow, look at that tropical dial. Wow, a gilt dial that went tropical. Wow. Isn't that a gilt dial that went tropical? Wow. You know what? That watch should be selling for much more money. $21,000. I would say that watch should be one of the ones that's worth 40. Wouldn't you reckon? It's all 36 millimeter, Preston. All too small. No, I mean, that's a whole nother debate. But no, here's the thing. Okay, so if you haven't experienced the 36 millimeter Rolex, you're missing out. If you have larger than a 7.5, if you have a larger than a 7.5 inch wrist, then this isn't for you. But if you have a wrist that is 7.5 or smaller, I believe mine is just about there, then it wears perfect. You can't be buying 36 all over the place. It doesn't work in all brands. I don't know what brands in particular it doesn't work for sure, but I would say 36 doesn't work for me. Probably. I'm like you. Okay. But Explorer, these vintage Explorers, bam, that is it. You can pull it off. It wears perfect. It wears right. It's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be that. Same as the President that I have, which is 36, the day date President in yellow gold. Those two. So if you want to have a small watch in the collection, but don't want to have a girly sized watch, a watch that is well respected, can be pulled off, that looks right at that size, it's the day date and this one here, man. So I think if you try it like I did, you'd realize it's a lot of fun. That's what you'd realize. It's just a lot of fun. Rolex 41s. I mean, yeah, the Rolex 41s are the new OPs. I think they're perfect. Okay, I caught up with the comments. Okay. think so. Okay. I'm not a fan of the new ones. I'm with Preston on that one. I'm not a fan of the discontinued. I mean, not discontinued or not, of any of the current Explorer lines. Explorer 2, the Explorer 2 Polar, Explorer 2 in black dial. Right. I like that. It's fine. But the Explorer 1 line, I never was a fan of the modern line. I understand the watch. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the closest you can get to dress on the sports side of Rolex, right? It's closest thing to being a dress watch on the sports side of Rolex without crossing the line into Cellini. That's why I went back to the vintage 1016 here, because I liked the Explorer, but bam, with that patina, it had to be with the patina. I kind of wish I didn't do this stream now, because I'm telling you, man, I really don't want to sell that watch. It's so tough. It's so tough, but man, I gotta go piss $8,000 away on 2 hip injections. They're gonna draw bone marrow out of my part of my hip, mix it with umbilical cord embryonic stem cells, and then they're gonna inject it into my into the labral tear. And I wasn't going to do it. Because I heard it was just, kind of a scam or whatever. But when the therapist for the NFL team told me he highly, highly, highly recommends it, then he said, if you got the money, you got to do it. How am I going to argue with him? So I'm doing it now. At least it looks like I'm doing it now. They want $13,000 for the one for the spine. So that would be $20,000, $21,000 in total. But I'm going to try the hip injection for $7,500 first. And if that all works really well and I see results from it, then I'll go back and do the back for 13 grand. Some more watches. So yeah, the 1016 looks like a great yeah, it's a great watch. There you go. What else can I say? Love it or hate it, it has a cult following. Wow, I'm blown away by this one. I got to tell you, this one is just absolutely gorgeous. That's remarkable. This one is just truly remarkable, man. This is just amazing. Wow. Oh, I got to be that. For the price, this one is a steal. I don't know if you think I'm crazy or not, but Tropical Dials, I understand he's still charging 21 grand, but I would have expected something like this to be $40,000, man. Because it's still the gilt dial, you see. I don't think there's any premium built in here for the tropical part of it at all. So add 20 grand for the tropical part. I mean, you've seen how much these things go for when they're tropical on other references. I mean, here you go. Look, the gilt dial here in this one is 28,000. Let's find this gilt dial price on request. Ooh, look at this one's a full set in the Arab Emirates. Wow, that's a great deal. Wow, that's my birth year watch too. Wow, that's a great deal. Shit, dude, that's a great deal. Wow, what a watch. Wow. Wow, that bracelet looks in remarkable condition. The whole thing, dude. Wow, what a sweetheart watch, man. Damn, I'd sell mine to upgrade to this one for another $8,000. See, here I am looking. This is what happens when you're a watch collector. I gotta sell the watch for money, and I'm already thinking of how to buy another watch with it. Man, imagine this. Only because it's a birth year. I don't really care about that though. Yes, Chris. Tropical dial, UV and water damage. Yes, Holy Grail. Yes. Yeah, I know, Preston, but that's how much they cost, man. That's how much they cost. It's ludicrous. I'm not going to disagree with you. That's why when I saw the one that I bought for 10 grand, right, Preston, seeing all these wacky prices, dude, I paid less than all of them. I didn't even pay the 12. I didn't even pay the 11. Bro, I paid the 10 250. So you feel me now? Right? To want to try this watch, bro, I got to try it for 10 grand. I didn't have to try it for 15. I didn't have to try it for 20. So, and it makes it sellable at 10 grand, man. It makes it sellable, really makes it sellable, Yeah, you got to always watch out for Franken, Hey, at least I know it was in the hands of, Craft and Tailored, and I don't know how much that says about anything, but I would assume that before he bought the watch from who he bought it from, he wouldn't have bought junk from anybody, right? That guy's got a Rolex collection, so he knows his watches, and yeah. So that's what I was buying the seller, right? I was buying the seller. I just wasn't buying the poor customer service that I got. But that aside, I always said that, the watch was a fair price. And hey, let's be honest. It was bad service, but I didn't get all bent out of shape until people pressed me. People really pressed me, Preston. You know what I'm saying? And people can get you heated, and that can happen. Although everything I said was true and correct, but definitely a lot of people edged me on. Egged me on, right? Boy, we spent a lot of time on the 1016. I suppose I should text the gentleman and tell him to watch this video, since we talked all about the watch that he's thinking of buying, and you can watch a live on a stream about the watch. And what maybe we talked about the watch he already bought, that one that was on Watch Recon, right? But there is nothing else out there for that $10,000 range. He'd have to go 12 plus, and I didn't like what I saw at 12. I didn't like what I saw at 12. He'd have to explore one of these, and he'd have to explore one of these two. That's what I would explore. One of those two for 12,000, other than mine. But I wouldn't consider this one on the left because of the mismatched hands. So this would be the only one I would consider, other than mine right here. That'd be the only one I'd consider. But he's going to have to pay 12,000, a couple of thousand more. So there you go, 20% more for this one. Where's it located? So this one's Miami versus mine is a couple of thousand cheaper and local to him. So there you go. He's got some stuff to think about. Interesting. Having no date is amazing. It's amazing. Man, maybe that's one of the reasons why I love that watch too. I really love that Explorer. I can't take it off, especially since I've been talking about selling it. Although I do have my black sub date on right now, my original watch, which we're selling that as well. We just got to do it. We got to let go. We have to let go. How do we buy FP Journes if we don't let go of some of the herd? How big can one stable be? I mean, how big? You know, and that all depends on the house. And I don't have a big house, so big house, little stable. I mean, little house, little stable. What's up, Raj? How are you? I saw your I saw the Porsche shop, Rajiv, on the Instagram, the one you told me about, and pretty cool Instagram he's got. I was following it for a few days, bro, but I had to unfollow him because he was there was so much so many posts, dude. So I'll just go back in and check him out once in a while. I had to do that. Some of the people that post so much stuff on Instagram that I was following, I can't keep up. It's too much stuff to scroll through. I had to unsubscribe. Like I'm not subscribed to any of the Watchbox or Tim Masso stuff on the Instagrams because you get that stuff all day long. Too much stuff to go through, man. Yeah, no one would ever think that watch is $20,000 on your wrist. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very low under the radar watch. Well, we got quite a few people joining us, don't we? So that was the interesting look. There you go on the Rolex 1016. I'll tell you what kills me. I'll tell you what train that passed that kills me is this one here. This train passed. This one kills me, man. I got to tell you. I was in Kenny Nguyen's shop. Holding one of these in my hand. and he wanted $17,800 for it. And I wanted one. He wanted $17,800. Did you see the price of this watch now? $28,000. $28,000. Watch went up $10,000 on me. This is the one that I regret the most. This is the watch buy that I didn't buy that I regret the most of all time, right here. Because I was going to buy the watch. Here's what happened. I was also looking at 5196 Pateks, Calatravas, and I found my Patek Calatrava with a 3-month-old certificate. It was only 3 months old. How do you pass on a 5196 that's only 3 months old? And I picked the Patek over this watch. Now I would say my Patek's gone up $5,000, but this one went up 10. Any of you guys have a Zenith Daytona? I've never heard of that. Is that a new Porsche? Is that a hybrid or something? I've never heard of it. I'll have to Google it or look it up. What is that? I never heard of it. My Porsche right now is in the shop, Raj. Well, 2 years ago, these were $18,000, and now they're $28,000. So they went up $10,000 in 2 years, $5,000 per year, respectively. Oh wow, the electric. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I think I should keep it too, Tony. But you know, I'm not working, man. And you know, if I can get the injections, maybe it'll help me get to work again, man. And then I can buy it later and I'll pay more for my 1016 later, man. You know, maybe I'll call the guy back and say, hey, do you want to sell me back my watch? But you know, man, dude, I've got FP Journe allocated and AP allocated, and yeah, there's just things. I know there's going to be more things, more financial obligations that are going to come hit me. I got my car. I'm paying on my car. I'm fixing up my boat a little bit. Fixing my hip, my boat, my 911. Repairing shit costs a lot of money. So, yeah, I think I have to sell it because I can't keep, I can't have $200,000 in watches, Preston. So I have to sell it. You just can't keep everything, man. I can't have 200 grand in watches, dude. Right? I'm going to eventually hit that mark if I don't sell anything. So let's breathe a little bit. Hey, don't you guys think that the watch market's got to come down? I mean, it's got to breathe at some point, doesn't it? So I mean, we're at a top of both markets, stock market and watch market. Who's to say that prices go up from here anymore anyway? So if I sold my 1016 right now, and let's say, 3, 4, 5 years from now, I want to get one again like it, maybe we're at the top right now, and maybe I can go back and buy it for the prices we're seeing on everything I've looked at today. Maybe these prices will stay the same and firm for the next 5 years, and I'll always be able to come back in here and buy another one, you see? Man, I got to tell you, I did live life like a race. I did. And in a way, I'm a little glad, because now that race completely stopped, and now I'm living like I'm on a beach in Cabo. I just hope I don't run out of money. So you think Rolex will only keep going up? Yeah, and in watches like that Explorer 1 1016, they don't get in any better condition, because those are watches everybody wears. Save the $25,000 plus pieces. Those are probably Save Queens, but all of the other ones, all the wearable ones, people are wearing them. Yeah, I won't ever buy it again. That's probably true. But at the beginning of the stream, I was just telling Geezer, hey, I might have come for full circle, in the mindset that, man, could the Havana be my only watch? The watch here on the screen? I could live with that as a one watch. Certainly I have more than one watch. And even if I got rid of half a dozen watches right now, I would still have half a dozen watches. So I think there's got to be a limit to the hoarding and the possessing. Hey, if it's making you money, then fine. But I mean, yeah, sure, some of these pieces go up and stuff, but we're not doing this to try to make money, because there's way too much risk involved in pieces going down. The risk premium is way too high if you're considering just to make money. I mean, of course, if the AD calls you with a Daytona that's in the money, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Those are different. That's different. But for overall most part, yeah, you don't know. I mean, the world is going through a lot of stuff right now. It's kind of mind-blowing that luxury goods and certain things and stocks and things just keep going up, despite the fact that we're in pandemic times. So it's quite extraordinary. Maybe there's going to be a pop. Here comes the weasel moment. There might be one of those moments coming, economically, financially, to all of us that we're not seeing. Pop goes the weasel. I'm telling you, be careful. I should be taking my own advice, but could be one of them times. It's unprecedented. Okay, I think we cut. That's good. I gone 1 hour. If I want to keep this program live, I think it was a decent enough program to keep live as a show. So let's keep it at 1 hour. And that's about all my back and hip can take regardless. So cool. Thank you guys for joining me for my twilight 3 a.m. discussion. Looks like the cricket's had enough of me too, and he's going to bed finally. 4:30 a.m. And all right, thanks for joining. You guys have a beautiful Saturday. It's my kid's, my 2-year-old's 3rd birthday all weekend, so you guys won't see me much anymore. Take care. You're welcome. You're welcome for the stream. Thank you guys. Thanks for the, thank you. Good day.